Well, now to News 15 Investigates follow-up on rural hospital cuts we've uncovered in President Trump's big, beautiful bill. The president is leaning hard tonight on Republican holdouts in the House to pass the Senate version of the measure.
But as we first told you last night, we've learned over 40 rural hospitals in Louisiana, including a half dozen right here in Acadiana, are in potential jeopardy if funding cuts contained in that bill become reality. Tonight, News 15's Scott Brazda visits New Iberia to examine the impacts if its local hospital were to close.
Rural Louisiana hospitals potentially on the chopping block. But this story isn't about politics. It's about the hospitals that might be affected by the politics. It's about what a hospital like Iberia Medical Center means to the community it serves.
We're talking about the possible cuts that could be coming from Washington, D.C., and I want to say I don't truly know the true impact of what that's going to mean to Iberia Medical Center. But what I can say is that Iberia Medical Center is huge for Iberia Parish.
Iberia Parish President Larry Richard knows the value of having a full-service medical facility in the place he calls home.
We have about 850 employees over there at Iberia Medical Center. Roughly salary for these employees are somewhere around $70 million a year. Wow. That's a huge impact. The operating costs of the Iberia Medical Center is around $147 million a year, some $12 million a month.
Quality of life, population growth. Those are some of the dominoes that rise and fall with the amount of available medical care in a community.
If something happens at the Port of Iberia where there's an accident, we really don't have 35, 40 minutes to get someone to the hospital in Lafayette or whatever the case is. We need the hospital that we currently have here.
And what about economic development? Larry Richard says companies moving into your area, they want the full package of societal amenities, including access to doctors and nurses, technicians, etc.
We're bringing big businesses to Iberia Parish right now, and they're looking for a few things. They want a hospital, they want good fire departments, they want good police protection. When you're going to remove one of those from the equation, chance is going to be tougher, it's going to be harder.
And a world without a hospital only minutes away? Or in the case of this specific story, a world without Iberia Medical Center?
When you have 70,000 people, and if something happened to one of them, where they need medical assistance, and by chance some of the services that's being provided, hypothetically, would be lost at that hospital, that could mean a lot.
We certainly appreciate Iberia Parish President Larry Richard for talking to us. A few other folks kind of shied away from the topic, but Larry wasn't afraid to tell us why he thinks Iberia Parish Medical Center matters. That's all we wanted. In Iberia Parish with videographer Dave Pierce, Scott Brazda, News 15.
News 15 Investigates did reach out to the leadership of the Iberia Medical Center to talk about the federal funding situation. The hospital CEO, Dion Viator, declined an on-camera interview to answer questions, but did send us a statement. In part, it reads, the leadership team is closely monitoring developments and engaging with policymakers and healthcare partners to understand the full scope of the proposed changes. Now, despite the hospital relying heavily on Medicaid funding, Viator says she hopes it will be able to continue serving New Iberia for years to come.